by request. Don't anybody sit there, okay? Or these two chairs here. I want those empty, just like they are. Okay, thanks. Thanks. I don't want you sitting too close. Leave that just like, that's good, just the way it is. I don't want anybody sitting there. It's too close. You want to sit, you want to sit there? Or you want to talk to your buddy around the corner?
You just told me it was too close. I don't think I can do that.
No, maybe you want it. You want it? You can bring a chair for your pal that you're talking to. All right, all right. Do you know anybody that might want to sit there? You gotta, could you go out and ask? Yeah. Wait, I'll give you $1. I'll give you $1.
You know what? On the house.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Only for you.
I'm moving up.
All right. I don't want Daniel to sit there. When he was 15 years old, already balding, thin basketball-etched frame continuously, nervously banging against a box only he could see, my friend Frank robbed the Kentucky Fried Chicken with a fork. He courted the girl that worked there, and her off-time, her girlfriends thought she was way off to go out with a boy. They talked like an electric circuit. They had it all worked out, except she must have got cold feet on the day of the robbery because she called in sick. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, in the 85-degree blue-collar melancholy sun, disguised in his brother's red and yellow striped wolfskin mask, armed with a stainless steel fork and 15 years of Catholic Italian longings, Frank ran into the Kentucky Fried Chicken in the corner of Butternut and Lodi, and finding no one behind the counter, he yelled to the two people sitting at the booth eating their original recipe breast, "Everybody hit the deck!" And they looked up at him and they laughed. The manager sauntered, oh too casually, out from the back room, and Frank screamed again, this time slamming his fork down so hard on the counter that he cut his own hand, and the three people saw the blood and the unrelenting fierceness and the eyes behind the ski mask, and they knew he was serious. Through the dusty and street plate glass window, passerbys could easily witness three people huddled on the ground, and a masked Frank fork ripped in midair as he jammed down the register button, grabbed $214 and fled. First time he told me this story was 15 years later on a blustery evening. We were broke down in the sub-zero snow this side of the Canadian border. That lonely orange U-Haul, squeaking with every jet of northern icy wind, provided a refuge in its cab for 8 hours. Me and Frank in the front, sharing cigarettes, leather egg butts, and flannel shirts that had been discarded in earlier months, summer days. Come on, you snakes, the sun had called. Shed those skins. But I've forgotten behind the seats, but now taken up and used as blankets and stuffed into drawer cracks to guard against the razor chill. After a few hours in the boredom peaked and the conversation snowballed and turned heated and sillier and confessional and redeeming. And Frank told me about his Italian grandmother, how she'd stare at his carved body, every inch of which was covered with a thick rug-like hair, and she'd shake her head, Sicilian serious, and she'd moan in broken English, "Blood of the wolf! Blood of the wolf!" In that truck, Frank threw back his head and howled with laughter. Then he told me how he robbed the Kentucky Fried Chicken with a fork, and I screamed with laughter, "A fork! A fucking fork!" So hard I actually got bored for a few minutes. When they found us, 8 blue bone cold chill hours later, I was half asleep, but Frank was still doing imitations of his boyhood hero, AC/DC's Bon Scott, yelling, "And he made it out with a bullet in the back!" across the Canadian snow. That was 8 years ago. Frank drives for somebody else and I moved to Texas. We couldn't make a go of a business in upstate New York, and the bank repossessed our truck. Last night when I was headed to the CD player, I thought I heard that truck outside beeping. I rode in that truck for half a decade. I know the sound of it and Frank's loud, impatient black coffee and V8 juice for glass. I was ready to ride, but when I went to the window, there was no truck. And as my eyes scanned the Texas horizon, I thought I saw running behind the trees a boy. He was wearing a ski mask. He was holding a fork.